A man is waiting for his wife to give birth. The doctor comes in and informs the dad that his son was born without a torso, arms, or legs. The son is just a head. But the dad loves his son and raises him as well as he can, with love and compassion. After 21 years, the son is old enough for his first drink. Dad takes him to the bar and tearfully tells the son he is proud of him. Dad orders up the biggest, strongest drink for his boy. With all the bar patrons looking on curiously and the bartender shaking his head in disbelief, the boy takes his first sip of alcohol. Swoop! A torso pops out. The bar is dead silent, then bursts into a whoop of joy. The father, shocked, begs his son to drink again. The patrons chant, "Take another drink." The bartender still shakes his head in dismay. Swoop! 2 arms pop out. The bar goes wild. The father, crying and wailing, begs his son to drink again. The patrons chant, "Take another drink." The bartender ignores the whole affair. By now the boy is getting tipsy, and with his new hands he reaches down, grabs his drink, and guzzles the last of it. Swoop! 2 legs pop out. The bar is in chaos. The father falls to his knees and tearfully thanks God. The boy stands up on his new legs and stumbles to the left, then to the right, then stumbles straight through the front door, into the street, where a truck runs over him and kills him instantly. The bar falls silent. The father moans in grief. The bartender sighs and says, "That boy should have quit while he was still ahead." 2 guys had just gotten divorces, and they promised they would never have anything to do with women again. They were best friends and decided to move up to Alaska, as far north as they could go, and never look at a woman again. They arrived and went into a trader's store and told him, "Give us enough supplies to last 2 men for 1 year." The trader gathered the gear, and on top of each one's supplies, he laid a board with a hole in it with fur around the hole. The guy said, "What's that board for?" The trader replied, "Well, where you're going, there are no women and you might need this." They said, "No way." "We've sworn off women for life," the trader said. "Well, take the boards with you, and if you don't use them, I'll refund your money next year." "Okay," they said and left. Next year, one guy walked into the trader's store and said, "Give me enough supplies to last 1 man for 1 year. The trader asked, "Weren't you in here last year with a partner?" "Yeah," said the guy. "Where is he?" asked the trader. "I shot him," said the guy. "Why?" "I caught him in bed with my board." During World War II, German soldiers were rampaging through French villages, seizing food, wine, and women. In one village, everybody fled in advance, except for a young man and his 92-year-old grandmother, who refused to be driven out by the Germans. When the German tanks rumbled into the near-deserted village, the soldiers cornered the young man. "Bring us food," they ordered. "All I have left is a loaf of bread," he replied meekly. "War is war," said the soldiers, and they forced him to hand over the last crumbs of bread. Then they yelled, "Bring us wine." "All I have left is less than half a bottle," said the young man. "War is war," insisted the soldiers, and they made him hand over the remainder of the bottle of wine. Then the soldiers shouted, "Bring us a woman." "But there is only 1 woman left in the village," protested the young man. "War is war," barked the soldiers. So the young man fetched his 92-year-old grandmother. The German soldiers took one look at her and said, Yeah, perhaps we will let you off this time." "No way," said Grandma as she hiked up her dress. "War is war." A bartender is sitting behind the bar on a typical day when the door bursts open and in come 4 exuberant blondes. They come up to the bar, order 5 bottles of champagne and 10 glasses, take their order over, and sit down at a large table. The corks are popped, the glasses are filled, and they begin toasting and chanting, 51 days, 51 days, 51 days. Soon, 3 more blondes arrive, take up their drinks, and the chanting grows. 51 days, 51 days, 51 days. 2 more blondes show up and soon their voices are joined in. 51 days, 51 days, 51 days, 51 days. Finally, the 10th blonde comes in with a picture under her arm. She walks over to the table, sets the picture in the middle, and the table erupts. Up jump the others. They begin dancing around the table, exchanging high fives, all the while chanting, 51 days, 51 days, 51 days. The bartender can't contain his curiosity any longer, so he walks over to the table. There in the center is a beautifully framed child's puzzle of the Cookie Monster. When the frenzy dies down a little bit, the bartender asks one of the blondes, "What's all the chanting and celebration about?" The blonde who brought in the picture pipes in, "Everyone thinks that blondes are dumb and they make fun of us. So we decided to set the record straight. 10 of us got together, bought that puzzle and put it together. The side of the box said 2 to 4 years, but we put it together in 51 days. A duck walks into a feed store and asks, "Got any duck feed?" The clerk tells him, "No, we don't have a market for it, so we don't carry it." The duck says, "Okay," and leaves. The next day, the duck again walks into the feed store and asks, "Got any duck feed?" Again, the clerk says no, and the duck leaves. The next day, the duck once again walks in and asks, "Got any duck feed?" The clerk yells, "I've told you twice. We don't have duck feed. We've never had duck feed. And we never will have duck feed. If you ask me again, I'll nail your feet to the floor." The duck leaves. The next day, the duck walks in and asks, "Got any nails?" The clerk replies, "No." The duck then asks, "Got any duck feed?" This 82-year-old geezer steps into a brothel and picks a beautiful woman to go up to the room with him. Once inside, the woman asked him what he wanted. He hesitated for a moment, feeling a bit embarrassed, but eventually told her that he would like a BJ. The woman obliged, but despite her best efforts, the man could not get hard. After a few minutes of trying, the woman's jaw began to ache, and she called in a colleague to assist her. Together, they tried everything they could think of to get the man aroused, but to no avail. Even after calling in a third woman to help, the man remained unexcited. Finally, after nearly an hour of trying, the women gave up. The first woman apologized to the man and told him that she was sorry they could not help him. The man simply smiled and replied, "Oh, my dog hasn't worked in decades, but it's been ages since it was this clean."